Well, hello to all the beautiful humans all over this beautiful planet called Earth. Welcome to the Amigos & Co. on Monday/Tuesday. We have a couple of guests with us tonight, both sporting outstanding beards and beers. Beers and beards. Well, one of them's got a beer. Mr. Poon Sauce McNasty and Mr. the esteemed Logan Exhales. Welcome. Welcome to the show.
Indeed.
Thanks for having us, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. I should also say hello to Mr. Legion and also Mr. Vandal, fellow amigos. Hi, you both as well.
I want to know what's bigger, the beer or the beard?
Oh, I was going to say, it's got to be pretty close.
That's a really close call.
Yeah.
Well, the point where it's at now, yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah,
So
same.
that should
Give
be
it a
the
little
rule.
while.
That should be the rule.
Yeah.
You should always drink your beard. As your beard gets
Drink your
longer, you
beard,
just need to increase
Well, if that's the
amount.
case, just dunk it.
Yes, the
Just
tea.
yeah.
Tie it up and then soak it out with your mouth.
Yeah.
Just wring it out into my mouth.
That's like the greenest way you could do it, man.
Uh,
Standards just,
Also, the grossest way you could probably do
This
it.
sounds like the worst
You're-
way to enjoy a beer.
Your beard has natural wicking properties. You just need to dunk the bottom into it, and it will draw its way
That's
up to your
true.
mouth.
That's true.
Have we learned nothing from vaping?
No.
You just need to carry a cup of beer, and then you can walk around and talk to people while you're. It's.
Because it'll go
yeah.
all the way up to your mustache and then hopefully drip back down, and you can just drink it from there.
I feel like that you have to wait too long to enjoy your beer if that's the case. And
Well,
it's like
I mean, if you've got cotton beard, then you're going to end up waiting too long.
I have the mentality it's my beer and I want it.
Is that on a hot summer's day, you want a nice, frosty, cool beer, and by the time it's gone all that way around, it's body temperature and kind of gross.
That's true.
That's disgusting.
Yeah,
That's,
It is.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is the worst way to consume a beer or any beverage.
But I dare you to try it at the next party.
Can we please, Mr. Poon Sauce, can you tell tell the people how many beers are in that tankard right there, my friend?
3.
He's
Three
so
beers.
proud of it.
Yeah. 3 beers. He was setting that up
Yes.
as we were setting up the stream, and I wasn't quite listening. I was like, how many beers? How many beers did you just put in that?
Well, I average around 3 beers a day, so I'm just making up for it in one glass.
Yeah.
I haven't had any
there
beers
you go.
today. Just I had to catch up.
Yeah. Nice. Well, shall we go with the International Vape Show laws of telling everybody what everybody's vaping on? Mr. Logan Exhales, would you like to head it with your Jimmy Buffett?
Cool. Sure, I can do the Jimmy Buffett. Not a lot of people here are going to recognize this, but we call this #YardMod. It's a little e-leaf eye stick that somebody threw into my yard in the rain, and I salvaged it, and it runs great. And I've got a slide tank on top. It's just kind of this is like my workhorse. Take it to work every day with me. It's got some 10 milligram water Malone in there. Next up, I got the OG topside single with a Citadel sitting on top, Delrin cap, a Dat Money Dough Chiquita tip from DHD, and some Saddle Horse Blues liquid they just came out with. This is their
Wait, what?
grapefruit and peach. Yeah, bro. Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
What?
Grapefruit and peach. It's like a grapefruit peach soda. Banging. Really enjoying it. And then last on the buffet is the new heavy hitter from Stan, Tenacious TX Vapes, and Heavy Metal Vapor, and Times Vape. Odium, Unicorn V2 sitting on top. Abalone Shell, DHD Chop Top, and my buddy Mitch, who mixes, Mitch Hogat. Shout out to ya. This is his, some Hogat's Yogurts. This is some white peach Raz from him. It's really nice. Do I pass off
Sure.
the Jimmy Buffett?
Sure.
Vandal, what do you got?
Oh man, I was like, don't pick me.
Yeah, sorry, man. It's bound to happen.
You're hella rude. No, what's up? Thanks for being here. Also, let's go with what I got. Topside with the goat, as always. Got some Homeboy Mango. And then I think I told you guys last week or on Friday, I started using the Narada. It doesn't work with flavors with me because I'm so used to using the topside, but I did put some menthol chillaxin from Atom Bomb juice. Of course, it's not going to focus. Anyways, and it's fucking banging. But that's all I got. What's up?
Yeah. Okay. I got a few things going. I got my. Okay. These first two setups are like my inner Vapor Swaggins and Tenacious DX vapes because they have tainted me a little bit. First, I got my 1 Gen R with the S tank from Stellar Mods. Inside of there, where's it? I got a little bit left of my Noms X2. This is the Cactus Jack from Mandarin. And then next, I got my MK Regina, a little DNA 75C action with GT4S on top. And inside of there, I got some of that new, the Strawberry Something from Mr. Quill Turd and Violent Vapor.
Is it good?
It's delicious.
Yeah.
And then finally, I got my little Pulverize action. I got my Death Wish King of Hearts 21700. And inside of there, I got some Squares Raspberry. That's all for me. What about you, Mr. Steve Legion?
Okay, let's get into this. Actually, today's not that bad. Only 4 setups in process. If I count, I've got 14 sitting there, but I've only got 4 that I'm actually using. Still rocking the DNA version of the Odin, the 75 version. Threw the Hellbeast on there for ease, just because I was feeling really lazy, didn't want to build anything, and I love the Hellbeast. In that, I have this stuff, and I showed this off before. I want you to check this out. If you are an e-liquid company, don't do this. This is a great juice, but who the fuck can read that?
It looks like a blank label to me.
Yeah.
Is it white over? Is it like off?
It's white on the palest green yellow.
Oh my god.
It's actually called Moore Vapes. I'm assuming they intended it to be the color scheme and that I wasn't sent like a really old bottle that's been sitting in the sun. It is a bit dark, but I mean, it's well steeped, but I'm at a loss. I don't know why anyone would do this. I can't read a damn thing on here, but it's apparently some sort of lemon cake, and it is really tasty. The other thing I'm vaping on today, the Asgard Mini that I got sent to me from a viewer, has a new home just in today. This is the gunmetal version of the Odin 100. So I actually kind of like, I really like the fact that they've gone for a DNA line and then a lower cost line. They're sort of fitting all markets. I know a lot of people will go cash cow, but I don't even buy into that shit. If it sells, it sells. It's worth being out there. But I love the fact that here's both of mine. This is my Duffo version of the big boy, and you notice the finish on that? They're both shiny. Yeah. And then when you go to I just don't have my other one back, but when you go to this, it's more of a brushed metal. I love the fact that they've delineated those two lines that way, but still, follow that design aesthetic. So those are the 2 main devices I'm reaching for. I'm kind of half-heartedly puffing on this, which is the new Oxva Origin X.
Excuse me?
Which, if you've seen it, it comes in a box with like 6 different coils and 2 different RBA sections and a pod and a 510 adapter. This is like the transformer of vapes. It can be everything. But it came in this morning. I was excited about it. I'm enjoying it, but I'm kind of annoyed because I threw a set of Breeze Tones mouthful-on coils. I broke the rules and did what you're not supposed to do. Threw a pair of them in here for a dual deck. So it came to 0.31 is what it came to. Should have been a bit lower, but that's where it was. And this device is supposed to go 0 to 60 in the RBA mode, and I cannot get it to go past 40. 40 is just a little too low. 50 would be great. I'm getting good flavor, but I want a little extra oomph. So I just cannot figure that out. But it's a nice feeling, nice looking device. As soon as I figure out how to make it actually power up the coils properly, I'll probably enjoy it a lot. And the only other thing in my setup this week, that's got some grape by the Grapist by Hoots. Other thing in my setup is this very classic looking piece of metal here, the very, very patina version of the heavy hitter, and on top I threw on the Goon because why not? It's a classic device. It's a pain in the butt to build, but it gives a great vape. And I thought I would change things up. Normally, I go for I normally go straight to the breeze tones. That's just my first thought. In here, I threw in a couple of wraps of 22 round wire basic Anthol. Came to 0.18, and it's really, really nice. Anarchist Pink Lemonade, by the way.
Canthal.
Anthal.
Silica. Silica.
That was
Silica
literally
wicks.
the kind of build I used before I discovered like exotic builds.
Yeah.
It was either like 22 gauge nichrome or 22 gauge Canthal, or either 24 gauge as well.
If it had some
Yeah, mine was
nichrome
always
lying around, that's
24.
probably what it would have gone for, just to get a little bit more mass in there and keep the same resistance. But yeah, I still every now and then I go back to that. It's been a while since I've actually wound a proper coil, so it was kind of fun to get back to that. But yeah, that's it for me today, Mr. Breeze Tones,
I'm
Cheese Bones. What are you actually vaping on today?
Yep, I have nothing new. There's a few new things coming, which I'm very excited about. But you know, hashtag COVID Postal Service is probably going to make me wait a little longer. But I have a cheeky pair of K-Fun 2019 lights on the Swags 2. One of them has Mr. Eric Vinyl and Vapors PB Party in my face hole, and the other one is Frank and Atticus, the Chai Vanilla Latte. Is that the profile name? I always get it wrong, but the latte action. I have the Palmerized Passage Unicorn Vert 2 with, excuse me, I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. That has a Passage, that's a Unicorn, that's a Vert. Has some triple 26s in there, and that actually has a little Paul Labworks Event Horizon, which I have just received, my favorite e-liquid of all time. So thank you very much, Mr. Paul, for letting me vap on that. And I also have the El Thunder 21700 Mr. Mech Mod that has a Drop Dead on it, and that has in there Cronuts from Infinity Creations here in Australia. I'm vaping the very last of it, which I'm disappointed about because that's a Kraken e-liquid, and I really like that it's not very sweet. Unlike me, I'm very sweet. Worst segue in the world.
That,
Now, did you always have 2K Fun lights, or did you pick up another one recently?
No, I did always have 2K Fun
I was
lights.
about to say, I didn't know about that second one.
Yeah, it's a little cheeky. Well, you know, the pod devices have kind of taken a back seat because I don't work out and about anymore because I work from home. So I'm keeping those refillable pods as stash so for later on. But the K-Fun is really right up my alley as far as MTL is concerned. And so, yeah, I got a second one. And provided I don't destroy them, then those will be my MTLs until the ether arrives at the end of this week, potentially next week, possibly next month with the Postal Service. I did purchase an ether, and I feel like I'm the last person in the world to get one, so I'm very excited.
You're still ahead of me. Mine's somewhere. For your sake, I'm hoping that yours isn't going through LA. What I've heard, LA is like the bottleneck right now. Everything is just
Well,
stopping.
Cincinnati. Everything goes to Cincinnati if it's DHL at the moment. Yeah. And DHL have
I don't know
also...
which one's worse, LA or Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I heard Chicago was the bad one, so.
Chicago. Yeah.
Apparently, all ports.
If we're talking
No matter where your mail
airports,
stops,
yes.
that's a bad place.
Yeah, if it's flying out of Chicago, you're kind of.
Oh my God, O'Hare like the worst airport in the world.
Because it's just massive. That's why.
It's just massive. It's huge, and you are inevitably going to land on one side and have to take
You're gonna
off
have to
on
walk
the other.
Yep.
It's every fucking time. It's terrible.
That's why you gotta get Heelys, man, and just cruise through the whole airport.
I've thought about it, man. I've thought about it. My wife is really bent on getting a pair of Heelys right now. It's funny that you bring that up. Like every other day, she's like, "I'm gonna order this pair of Heelys." She
Dude, I've been searching
went
on-
online. She's found a pair. She's ready.
I would actually, Mr. Frames Janklin has put in there Houston is the worst. Is that Houston International, or is there a domestic in Houston? Because I would actually.
Well, it's.
Or is it all the same?
It's the Houston. It's the. No, actually, I was out of the depth. But Houston wasn't. Oh yeah. Okay. Wait, no, never mind. I'm not thinking the right one. I was thinking of DC.
Say that again.
I've never been to Houston, so I couldn't
My brain turned off and turned back on, and just let me give a second to reboot.
Yeah. Well, Houston, if you come from Australia and you connect on to the US, Houston has now become one of the ports I think that Virgin uses, and I was quite impressed with Houston Airport. It's set up quite nice, but I've never flown domestic into Houston, so I'm not sure. Not sure. Yeah.
It's really weird. Sometimes you can go to a city and it'd be the same airport, split in half, domestic and international, and you can be transferring through. Like you land at the international, and there's fucking Starbucks and restaurants, and there's Gucci stores, and everything's marble and beautiful, and it's clean. And you get that little shuttle bus across to the other side of the airport, and it's just a tiny little hut. And there's like people, there's like 50 people outside hacking up their lungs at the front. And you go in, and this, it looks like a 1970s bus station. The seats are hard and plastic molded, and it's like you go up to the counter. It's like, I've got a transfer, and there's this old woman sitting there. Can't find you on the flight. It's like, how did I want to go back to the other airport. I'll go anywhere. Just I don't want to be here. It's kind of weird how
Put me on any plane.
Sometimes they just don't match.
Yeah.
Frames is talking about the USPS distribution center always takes... Right, sorry. Completely got that wrong about the airport situation, but thank you for clearing that up.
Well, you just heard a couple minutes about airports.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No apparent
Talk
reason.
about
Totally.
America's
It's all
worst
content.
airport.
When we're done, it's all content.
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah,
fine.
he's absolutely right. The transport paths that we take as people and the transport paths that mail take, completely different. I know DHL and what's the other one? The brown guys that I never see here.
UPS?
Yeah, that's the ones.
Welcome
I
brown
never see
dude.
them anymore. But yeah, they have their own planes. They have their own airports. They have their own stuff going on. So you're probably better off right now getting mail through any of those than through the USPS, because at least it'll get to you eventually.
Yes, please. Speaking about airports and USPS, that's a perfect segue into the What's in the News show.
That may be
with-
the worst segue I've ever heard in my life.
I'd
You
like,
drink water?
Anything's a segue if you say that's a perfect segue into it. You can do it with anything.
yeah. I will X1 in chat for 10 points for my host skills there. I'd like to talk about the What's in the News show that you both do. Tell us how it's going, what's going on. If I was not in the vape industry, what's the biggest news happening right now for us all?
EMTAs.
Yes.
I don't know. We've only been talking about it for
That's really all you need to
what
everything you
feels
can
like
focus
an
on.
eon at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
The MTAs, and I would say the second thing would probably be the vape mail ban that's still kind of up in the air.
Yeah, S1253, which is really curious talking about mail and USPS. There's a bill banning vape mail for the USPS, but we're also on the verge of losing USPS.
Yeah.
Does that like nullify, the bill? Like if the USPS just ceases to exist, are we even concerned with Frank Pallone's bill anymore?
So just for those in other parts of the world, and for myself included, can you clarify? So the vape mail ban is for USPS only, is that right?
Yeah, it's for USPS only, and it's for e-liquid. My understanding, it's just for e-liquid. I don't think hardware's involved in it. I could be wrong there, but I think it's specifically for e-liquid, and it's just USPS. They leave it up to private carriers like UPS or FedEx to do what they want.
Right.
Since those are again private businesses, they can dictate what they ship and what they choose not to on their own. But yeah, it would just ban vape mail in USPS.
I guess the thing I don't understand is, like, obviously each state has their own, tobacco/nicotine laws and regulations and all of that situation. So USPS, again, for a dumb Australian, is that government owned? Is it partially government owned?
The United States Postal Service is a business that is technically owned by the executive branch of our government.
Right. Okay. So
Yes.
they're putting this in because it's effectively going to take away from collected taxes. logistics, different states with
There's-
different regulations. Like, why would they do this? What's the point?
Teenagers.
Protect the kids.
Yeah, teenagers. I mean, the answer to everything always just circles back to protecting the kids. I mean, we know convenience stores, we have issues with age verification checks. Through even the FDA, we know vape shops necessarily aren't a problem as far as age verification goes. But teenagers are still ordering a lot of things online. I mean, it's so simple to order anything online. If you've got your mom or dad's credit card, you've got an order. So I think that's their main goal, right? Is to stop teenagers from ever vaping. So we're literally going to stop any adults from receiving their vape mail as well. That's the logic, I suppose.
I mean,
using the word logic loosely, obviously.
Yeah. I totally understand. These questions are stupid, but I want.
No,
I guess I want everyone to be across the whole situation of what this actually means and why they need to do something.
And I mean, most people, I think that, rural people, whatever, you're able to get to a vape shop if you still have one around, if you're in a state that still has vape shops at this point. A lot of states do, obviously. New York, we still have vape shops. They're kind of flying under the radar, doing things under the radar. But yeah, if you're somebody that lives way out in the sticks, man, everything you get is from online. Everything you order, your liquid, your devices, your coils, whatever it is, it's all online. And I think that's the huge concern right there is, our 75-year-old grandmother who is definitely not heading 30 miles into the city to go to a vape shop. She needs her e-liquid and her coils. Like, that's my biggest concern are those folks,
100%.
being able to get their supplies.
I probably get 3 or 4 DMs a week of people here in South Australia who can't get to brick and mortars for, asking me to send coils or whatever for that same situation when that came in for us, a year ago. I think it was a year ago, but yeah, when that legislation changed and no more online purchases, same thing. People just can't get to stores.
And it's got to be a tough spot too, right, for shops, because shops, they're competing with the online market always. If you're a brick and mortar, you're constantly competing with the online market, and you're usually behind, right? If you look at a lot of people order online. So vape shops are probably thinking like, yeah, this is shitty, we shouldn't do this, but is it going to be good for business? Like, that's got to be a weird spot to be in, right? Like,
Yeah, I've heard that angle before, and there are shop owners who are like not even concerned about it. It's like, whatever, it'll help us. And I think that's a very short-sighted sort of mentality. That's very much about your own bottom line rather than protecting the industry long run. But you got to wonder about the hypocrisy of the whole thing. It's like, not that I believe there should be more laws and more control and that's the line of things, but they put in a law to protect kids from being able to order e-liquid online, and yet every teenager in the States can easily have unfettered access to the internet. And that's not a problem. That's not an issue. I mean, I would not hesitate to say that access to hardcore porn 24 hours a day is probably more impactful on a young child's mind than a little bit of nicotine. But
I would probably say yes.
There's no laws about that. There's no protect the kids. There's no we should police the porn industry so that there's proper age verification. I mean, there's 150 billion free sites streaming live constantly that your 8 or 12-year-old can get their eyes on.
Like 3/4 of the internet is just porn. I mean,
and it's just there. It's not even like in the old days we had to figure out how to pirate this shit and download this shit and how to have it running in the background for 8 hours with no one noticing that we're downloading. Now it's just like streaming. Oh, I'm just Googling stuff.
Totally. I did that the other day, and I happened to be Googling somebody's name.
What the other day?
I was Google facing. I was Google facing the cyberwebs, and happened to type in a name of an actress who had a pseudonym. Excuse me, her name was the same as someone in the porn industry. I got one photo on the actress that was in the show that my wife and I were watching, and 99% of it was filth. It was just like I didn't even try to do that. Like, that was just what came
Virgin
up.
eyes can't handle this.
Well-
Oh, God.
Don't you love how Adam, like the rest of us, we go, and the rest of it was porn, or the rest of it was pretty hot. Adam goes, and the rest of it was filth.
No. I am making a distinguishing the difference between porn and then everything else afterwards, and what was on.
And everything that Adam saw was not porn.
Yeah.
If you haven't noticed, Adam buttons a top button on his shirts. We're just
Yeah.
about to say it.
Yeah, well, it's pre lunchtime, so the button up, and then after lunchtime, post siesta is
He has
got a
to
nice
go
project.
meet the.
yeah.
As I
how
was
that
saying,
works?
and I want to see people vote in the chat. As I was saying before we got online, if you're going to button up your flannel shirt, you need to get a contrasting flannel tie. I want to see you with a blue flannel tie. Or tie.
Ooh.
If anyone in chat wants to see him with a flannel shirt and a flannel tie, X1 now.
I think Adam would look really nice with like a fuchsia tie. With that red.
Okay,
Like
well,
it would be your color, Adam.
so talking about ties, also let's go into the YouTube situation.
Segues.
Yeah, bazing.
Beautiful
Yeah.
Segways.
Segues. Yeah, my segues are out of control. I did find a little something about the YouTube situation that I sent you about yesterday, Mr. Poon Sauce, and just so people can see this, I'm going to bring it up. It's going to cover all our faces, but you can see there. Here is from the community guidelines, the age restriction content. Obviously, I can't highlight anything here, but you can see where it comes into, we may consider the following factors when deciding whether to age restrict or remove content. Keep in mind this isn't a complete list. Nice way to grey area that YouTube. But if you go right down to examples of age restricted content, on the bottom there it says a video reviewing brands of nicotine e-liquid. So YouTube realizes that there is a huge scene of vape reviewers and vape content channels. I just wanted to bring that up because they've actually put it in writing. E-cigarettes and
Yeah, I would say
e-liquid.
that's got to be the first time YouTube's actually put that anywhere in writing.
Yeah. So I secretly think it's a good thing. I mean, obviously the monetization for people making their living off, doing this really is an opt-in for advertisers. From the basic understanding that I saw from a couple of reviewers explaining the situation. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of advertisers, but I just really hope that those advertisers don't grab it by the reins and do the wrong thing. But I guess that allows some monetization of some description, but also that they are acknowledging that, vaping is going to happen on YouTube, whether they like it or not, so...
I
think
I
that's
agree with you.
their
I think it's a
way.
good thing that it's now it's in the framework. It's mentioned, so you have no lack of clarity. Like if it's in there, then it's permissible as long as it's labeled correctly. So that's a good thing. We theoretically shouldn't be kicked off, or at least we've got a case if we're kicked off. I'm just wondering. I know that when advertisers come in, they have to all these things to select and collect what they want to opt in or opt in out of. And so, someone like, say, Disney's going to opt out of anything that seems risky, whereas maybe a car manufacturer might be a little less careful. I'm just wondering how many of the quit smoking programs, ads, gums, products, etc., are going to specifically target vaping content. So every time we see a vaping video, it's going to be Chantix or Nicorettes or the Quit program, Quit for Life or whatever, advertised before you get in there.
Yeah, 100%. We're going back to the start of the year, and a lot of the reviews that I was watching at the start of the year, the very first ad that was on was, independent businesses who were, offering hypnosis or alternative forms of, like quit smoking situation. There was one that was just on for months here in Australia of a gentleman who has a business in New South Wales somewhere, and it was just unrelenting. So I guess that's where they're going to spend their dollars and try and get them away from the things that actually work.
as a content creator, I mean, having any kind of ads at this point would be good. And I saw that news the other day. You actually sent me a message right as I was beginning to watch it, and my immediate reaction was, okay, last 3 videos, let's just give it a try. I'll label them properly. Let's see if some ads come through, and if it changes, I'm going to actually pay attention to that, see if I get a little bit more revenue, and that would be good.
Yeah.
And then there's that weird feeling like, okay, if I actually start making money from ads, well, are they all quit smoking ads? Like, how do I feel about that?
Well, yeah, exactly. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I'd rather start shilling for Raid Shadow Legends if I could. If they said, look, here's a big check, 5 minutes of every review, you just tell everyone how great Raid is. I'm like, awesome. I don't play, but I'll do it. I'd love to do that because, you know, I mean, I've said it before in plenty of places. I'll take sponsorship. I am a whore. I'm going to take it from the vape industry. And it would really, really tickle me to do like a 2-hour live stream and, you know, shill for Raid Shadow Legends in the first 10 minutes. And then an hour through, I start talking bad about it. Like, I don't play that shit. I know nothing about it. Because I know that the sponsors would never watch the whole thing anyway.
Yeah.
They'd watch just far enough to see if I did the job. Okay, yeah, we'll clear the check. By the time we get to the end, I'm like, yeah, you know.
That's the best part. I watched this guy, Internet Historian, and he's sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, which is funny because I laugh at it. He makes a little quick ad for it, and then after it's like, I don't fucking play that shit. Anyways, onto the video. But they still pay you to do it.
Yeah. And as long as you got the product out there, and you said its name, and you know, filled your contractual obligation to say the various features that need to be done, you get paid.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you guys, how do you feel about that? Because I know there's a couple of other reviewers that have raised that issue. They're considering doing sort of embedded in-stream or in-video ads. How would you guys feel if a reviewer was to move into that direction, like the rest of the internet?
I wouldn't be against it because you got to look at it this way. These people that are creating the content, this is their job practically. They're not working a 9 to 5 usually. They're not coming home making videos and then going back to their regular life. This creating content on YouTube is their life. So if they're going to make the choice to maybe put something out there that's going to give them more revenue, put them in a better financial situation, that's completely up to them. I wouldn't be against it. They're just trying to make ends meet. And if they have to do it in a way to promote a mobile game or promote a car dealership, let them do it. I mean, if 30 seconds of your life for them advertising something is going to kill you, then you need to reevaluate a few things.
Yeah. It's kind of
I watch a shit ton of camera and video reviews and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, 90% of that is Squarespace or Wix or some stock company, or there are companies that do music. And yeah, there's always like a couple minutes in there, and you know, to me it doesn't bother me. That's how they pay their bills, and I get quality content, and I get in-depth look at this piece of gear or this camera or this lens or how you do something in Premiere, and it's paid for by the company that does that. So that doesn't bother me so much. The only reason I ask is because as a community, we're like the last bastion holding out against that. We don't do that very much. Unfortunately, the last time someone tried to actually incorporate sponsorship and in review ads, we started talking about dry knuckles, and they got laughed off the internet. So.
But I'm going to say it also to be the devil's advocate. I mean, harm reduction is harm reduction. It's just, you know, what is being chosen as the you know, government approved. I hate that word, but you know, those terms. I mean, it is what it is. And God, I just subscribe to a lot of channels on YouTube, and basically all of the big ones all have ads of some description. You know, whether I like it or not, whether it's ads done by the actual creator itself. You know, there's always that. I mean, YouTube is unrelenting with the ads these days. The first time a video yesterday morning I watched, and it had 3 ads in a row that I had to skip through to actually get to the content. So they're increasing it, you know, almost daily. It's YouTube is, yeah.
I think a lot of people get upset about having ads and reviews because it's something that's serious to you, because it's close to your heart. If you're a vapor, you gotta see this stuff. But when you look at it from another perspective, you watch any other video on YouTube, you'll sit through the quick 5 seconds to skip the ad and it won't bug you. And I kind of think there's a little bit of a double standard there. But then again, you got to realize that if these people are making money and they're helping promoting the positives of the industry, then why not?
Yeah. I guess this might not mean anything, but also in the same vein, if you were paying for the YouTube subscription as such, or the access to YouTube, that would be a different story. But in the same vein, it's still a free platform, really, isn't it? Well, free platform. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, back in the day when I was a kid, and we didn't have cable at that time, we had like 3 or 4 channels live to air, and so broadcast TV, you pay for your service by watching ads. Every 15 minutes, there's a block of ads on TV, and that's how we got it. When we moved to cable, we were paying for a service, and there were channels that were virtually, not completely, but virtually ad free. So. I mean, it really comes down to that. You're paying for it one way or another. There are ad-free services. We can enjoy our streaming now, but I pay for that. And there are services online where you can get, I know there's catch-up services for ABC and all that. You can watch live on TV, but they sandwich the ads in again. You've got to pay. In the end, you've got to pay no matter what.
Exactly. Yeah, I'd like to know what everyone is thinking in chat with all of this. Mowgli has just said he mutes the ads on the Tubi. No biggie. I mean, I kind of feel the same. It just, I guess, when it's those ridiculous ads of stop smoking by this, that, or the other, that's when I take it a bit more personally, I guess.
See, we've gotten back into the YouTube run ads, the bumper ads. My curiosity is more about the reviewers themselves embedding the ad.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch any of Grim Greens, he's got a sense of humor about it, but he's got a sponsor now. They're a company that make water bottles, and he's straight up like he's getting paid to use, to show, to talk about this bottle. He's got some of their promotional material, so every time he has a drink, he hits a button and it plays the audio from one of their ads in the background. I mean, that's straight out shilling. That's straight out promotion of a product that's got nothing to do with vaping. I have no problem with that. That pays his bills.
And he chose it.
And he shows it. And he's chosen to work with them.
People to buy the stuff because they're going to see somebody like a regular everyday vapor who looks up to Grim Green, and they're going to be like, "Oh, he's using this cool water bottle. I'm going to go out and buy it." That's pretty much he's doing his job right there.
Yeah, that to me,
like,
that's
what they're
how
paying him to do.
To me, that's how capitalism and how business works. I mean, if I can get paid to promote Squarespace in the middle of something, they would be the worst choice for me. But if they did, or say a beard oil. Well, before we go down the table, let me just take a couple minutes to tell you about Beard Brand. Now, Beard Brand has been around for a very, very long time, and I got paid $500 to do that for a month on every video, and I timed it. I made sure it was 2 minutes. This is the question. Because we are like I said before, we are the only segment that doesn't do that. That's not a thing in the vaping review world. How would the audience react to that? That's my curiosity.
I want to shout out Anthony Ramel in the chat real fast. He said no more Ray Liotta commercials. I don't know if you guys have seen him, but oh my god, I hate that guy now. He does it's like a Nicorette kind of gum thing. And he's like, I've always been a tough guy, but now I'm softer because I choose this nicotine gum.
What?
I was like, what? Yeah, it's so bad, man. It's so bad.
I can honestly say I've never seen that advertisement ever.
They have them
I'm
all
kind of
dressed
happy
up
I
like
haven't.
mafia. Yeah, it's so
Do
bad.
you guys get the sunglasses guy? Like he's
Yes.
the most annoying guy in the world.
No.
Your face is your moneymaker. Why cover it with cheap plastic? And then he goes on for like 20 fucking minutes about this cheap mail order glasses.
Oh, the Manscaped. That's another one.
I
That's,
can't
love
tell you
that
how
one.
many times I've gotten the Manscaped one. Like, are you guys trying to tell me something? Do I need to shave my pubes?
They know, dude. They're
They're like, oh, they use a chainsaw, shave your balls. It's like, okay, cool. Like, what?
They have a camera in my shower that I don't know about.
You got an Alexa in there?
The worst, the absolute worst one for me is that I put on YouTube and I blare the music on some randomized thing when I'm cooking dinner. I just like to have the music in the background. And once a year for like 2 months straight, we have this Chinese ballet thing happens in Sydney. And it's on for 2 months straight, and it's this big traditional Chinese dancing and music. And it's, it's interesting. It's cultural. Except their YouTube ad is half an hour long. I'm not kidding. It's a half-hour fucking ad. So I'll have like random music going, and it will just start. And like I'll be 10 minutes in. Oh fuck. Okay,
Oh, yeah,
which
that
one
was-
is this?
got
I'll
me
go through
turned.
and skip. Okay, next song. Plays one song, and then it goes back into the ad. I get the beginning. It's like, oh fuck, man. It's fine when you're sitting here and you can just skip it, but when you're like trying to like have an ambience and not be on the computer.
Yeah.
I'd just like to address Aussie Shano in the chat. He's saying to you, Steve, you can advertise the Mankini by doing your reviews wearing one. I will put the Patreon link in the chat just so that we can pay not to see that. That would be amazing.
Well, to tell you what, if I'm getting the cash in the end, why don't we have a bidding war?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Who wants it and who doesn't?
X1. Yeah.
And yeah, if I'm going to advertise Mankini, I'm going to mention that I don't have a manscaping kit. I'm not going to do that.
Steve, you told me you had an OnlyFans that you were going to start strictly for your manscaping.
Yeah.
You
The
wish.
redwoods, right?
Oh dear.
All right, Steve, since we're talking about the bidding war, how much would it cost for them to send you a jockstrap that looks like a face mask and you just shave the middle of your beard so it fits?
Shave the beard.
Just the
Yeah.
one strip.
See, if you hadn't thrown in and shaved the beard, I'd be like $300. Fine. I'll
I
do
know
it.
that's easy enough.
That's
I would've paid
easy.
you
But
that.
you're asking me to shave, and that's my
That's
my face is
thousands
my
of
moneymaker.
dollars.
My face is my moneymaker.
It's thousands of dollars to shave.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
so that's no go. Never mind, guys. No Patreon.
Yeah.
Speaking of golden showers, what do you guys got excited about recently?
That's a
I was
segue.
drinking a beer there for a second. I
That's
almost
a segue. What are
Serious-
we excited about?
Serious question though, what's coming up in the vape industry that's got you guys all hopping and excited? Like last week it was the heavy hitter, but we all got one now. And if we don't got one, we should
Hey,
probably
speak
do
for
an order and
yourself,
get
Dan.
one.
Oh god.
The rest of you, like, what are you excited about?
I'm the worst person to ask these kind of questions to, because outside of getting the heavy hitter, I don't think I've ordered a new product this year. I'm that guy.
It's people like
I'm
you that are destroying
I'm-
the vape industry.
I know I'm not the new shiny guy. I have a ton of devices and RDAs that I love and enjoy, and it's a rare occasion that I buy something new.
It's actually a good point to be at. when
Yeah.
you're
You
happy.
know, yeah, every now and again I see something like the heavy hitter came out, and I own all the rest of Stan's mechs, thoroughly enjoy them, and just decided, hey, for $75, I know it's going to be good. Why?
I gotta say, sorry to interrupt there, but Stan's that kind of person though. Like, I think that whether it was good or not, I'm not saying it's bad, but whether it was good or not, there are people out there that would be like, I just want to give Stan a few bucks. He deserves
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Based on the fact that the previous stuff he's put thought into, it's good, it's quality. He's such a nice guy. He's out there, putting himself forward all day, every day. Like, I just want to give him a few bucks. I may not use it. I don't really need a new mech. Don't really care. Nothing excites me about it. But I just want him to have $20 off the top of it. I think he'd sell a certain amount just for that.
I was actually I purchased my heater because of what it was designed to do and
Yeah.
the button
I'm not putting the device down in any
pure
way.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not even putting him down.
Myself.
I'm just saying that I think
Yeah.
there are people out there like that will do that just because it's him,
yeah.
which is a testament to the what do you call
Community.
it?
No, it's faith from the community.
but also
Yeah.
him, the impact he's had on the community.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm the worst person to ask that question to, because I just don't order. I'm literally Anthony Ramella. I'm literally using a mod from my yard.
But the Citadel and Topside, that would be your ride or die, right? That's your
Honestly, I don't know if I have a ride or die, man. I use my Boxer 21 700 a lot with my Citadel. I just decided to go with something regulated tonight. I don't know, man. I take that back. You know, I did buy something else this year. I bought the Ben box from Rescued and Baby. It's a parallel 21 700.
Yeah.
I did buy that, but yeah, I just don't buy a lot of new stuff, man. I don't know if I have a ride or die or not. Right now, it would probably be the heavy hitter with the Unicorn V2 on top. I've just been I've been in love with that vape since it came in. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't really have a ride or die vape, and oh, can you guys hear my neighbors?
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I didn't hear them at all.
Oh, it just came through very faintly. Speaking of new stuff, Mr.
They
Vandal,
do this. It's fine.
you picked up a little something new there for you. Yeah.
I heard it. I got my stuff turned up to like 5,000 now.
Wait, are you talking to me?
You talking to me?
I
No,
was-
I don't know.
I was talking to Vandal about the Narada,
right.
but you know, yeah,
Oh yeah.
Oh, what?
yeah, let's hear about it.
I thought we were talking about the neighbors. I don't know what's going on.
yeah, that too.
Wow.
Do you ever know what's going on?
Yeah, I guess you get to that point with vape gear if you reach a happy medium, and then the stuff that really excites you, that's what you purchase. And I guess there's lots of people who would just purchase it just for the sake of purchasing it. You know, like there's vaping is awesome like that.
Yeah, I tried this new pod system. I'm not too big on non-disposable pods because I like them because I throw them away. It's kicking ass pretty good so far with menthol. But with the other flavored juices, because I'm so fucking used to doing with the top side and like the big airflow with the go, it doesn't taste as good. So with menthol, I'd like pods, but other than that, not too big of a fan of buying a bunch of new stuff. Kind of like Logan. I've had this mofo for like a year now. The one I had before this was the same thing a year. So. It works.
Whatever works for you, man. That's the important part.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the thing that's the hitter is exciting me, just because it's a different mech, but also the ether. But same again, the ether compared to these K funds is probably either one or the other. Who knows? So I bought that just for interest sake, but also some of the functions involved, top filling, yada yada. So do I need it? No. Did I want it? Yeah, absolutely yes. So yeah, it is one of those things.
I did see though when I went last week, they have Caliburns at local vape, and I was thinking about getting one because I know that you guys always talk about them, but I didn't want to mess it up. But I think that's going to be the next thing I try.
Dude,
Caliburn's good.
get this one.
The Inikin.
The Anakin.
Yeah, I was
So
going
good.
through stuff on the shelves. I was like, "Where'd you guys get these?" Everyone talks.
This is the one you want. This is solid. Like it's gonna last. If you want a pod system, it's gonna last you. It's durable. It's beautiful. It's functional. It's as basic as you can get, but it's got some nice features. That's the one to go. It performs really, really well. Not just saying that because I'm shilling for them, but I believe that. Best in
Remember
class.
earlier when he's like, "I'll promote the video," but I don't know.
Gentlemen, would like to talk to you about what's coming up on the show. Also, Mr. Logan, we haven't gotten into your podcast, the Rise and Vape podcast. Would you guys like to, maybe unpack a little bit of those?
Yeah,
I'll let Corey start with the show because my neighbors are still like screaming. They're just like, it's crazy outside right now, apparently.
Are they fighting, or is it just like some really cool sex that you're missing?
No, they're fighting. This is like a daily thing with my neighbors. I give it 5 minutes and the cops will be here. It's just a daily thing.
Wait, was that her screaming just now? Oh
This-
my god!
This might be used as evidence where we need to turn the mic up a little bit, potentially.
So yeah, with the show, things are going really good right now. We're kind of keeping it to where like we're trying to stay as up to date with like what's the most recent as possible, so we can not have like old content to talk about when like so many others have talked about it already. So that's going really good. I know coming soon we're going to be talking about the results of the DC rally with PMTA deadline coming through, possible changes that could happen to the PMTAs, because we all know from the last DC rally, change happened from that. So we're hoping that possible PMTA reform could happen after this upcoming rally, because the results are in the pudding with that practically. Because first results, we got something. We're hoping that we get enough people this time to where results happen again, but we're going to try to stay up to date with what happened, who talked, different points that they made. And I know, because there's just a lot of crazy stuff going on at the moment. I know it's slowed down a little bit temporarily, but we're just trying to stay up to date and giving the people who want to watch the best up-to-date content that we can give them. Really.
Yeah. I think it's awesome that you're doing that. You know, any and all news services as such for the industry is a huge thing, and plenty of people watch the replay, plenty of people watch the lives, and you know, I think we're all, even though yes, we are. I don't want to keep saying it, but the talking to the choir thing, knowledge is power, and different takes on it, different situations. It's a really good thing. So you know, if people
automatically know that we're
and
not,
we have a
gonna
lot
get
of
the
fun
kind of,
with it.
yeah, it's the kind of thing where
show.
me and Logan have kind of turned it to where it's like we can be serious when we need to, but then be able to like turn it around to be actually keep it a show to where it keeps the chat interactive and it keeps the topics to where it's on point, but then we have our moments to where it's off point and have a little laugh once in a while, or like how we keep it serious for most of the show, but then at the end of the show we end it with with a funny point. We end because instead of like serious news, and then we end it with funny news.
Yeah,
It's like
kind of
streets full
end it
of
with a laugh.
chocolate and dick boards.
Yeah, penis shape. Penis.
Yeah.
I've seen that movie. Yeah.
Wait, what?
If you haven't, last week's episode is just good enough in general just to go back and listen to that ending segment of the penis inside the cutting board,
Yeah.
because that was a beautiful moment in life.
Yeah, Corey sprung that one on everybody by surprise. It was good. It was good.
Oh,
yeah, no, I think it's a great
surprise.
show. Man. I mean, we have a lot of fun with
Okay,
it.
let me
you know?
give people a bit of a backstory on it. So, this lady ordered a cutting board offline, and she got it. It's like a marble cutting board, but on like the white cutting board, there was literally cock and balls, like literally blackened around. Like you couldn't make this shit up. It was literally the perfect shape of a penis and slight balls as well, like in the middle of the cutting board. And the funniest thing was this chick that ordered it went to college, so she had it delivered to her mother's house. And her mother opened it and realizing, I got your cutting board you asked for, but do you realize what's on this cutting board right now? And she kept it for sentimental purposes.
Yeah, that's why.
Nice.
Yeah.
And if I believe it was from the Huff Post, you could actually probably find that article still on the Huff Post, and the picture of that cutting board is literally something I want to print out, frame it, and put it on my wall. Because you can't make this shit up. How does that even happen? Like a piece of marble comes out so perfectly where it shapes it out almost identically. Like it's like somebody just flapped it on there and just traced around it.
Literally what it looks like.
I'm like,
It just
you
looks
can't
like
make
somebody
this shit up.
mushroom stamped a cutting board and sent it out.
Yeah,
Adam, I will send you the article to this after the show because you will get a hilarious laugh out of it.
The best part though is the guy that's working at the factory when that board came out and was finished.
Oh my god!
And he looks at it and he's like, approved, and sends it out. You know, that's
You know, I thought
probably
you
looks
guys
at
were
the cutting
talking
board and be
about
like, "I'm
like
bigger,"
a
and sends it off.
vaguely shaped splotch.
no, dude. It's
This
like
thing's
dick
got a
right
foreskin
there.
and veins.
Yeah.
It is
dude. It's real.
literally
I'll tell you
accurate.
first hand of seeing it that it didn't look like that cutting board was circumcised.
I'm telling you, the reason she kept it is that all potential suitors must. No,
Yeah. You got to be at least this.
It's a Cinderella story. She's got the glass slipper. She's waiting for someone to fit it.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Let's pull this up. And it looks like when people think like a stain in a wall looks like Jesus, this is the Jesus of dicks, guys.
Dude, that's what I said in the
That's
show.
literally like people literally see freaking Jesus on toast, and now
Yeah.
people see. Yep, there's the link right there. Oh, I gotta look at it again. Just
He's
Awesome.
gotta take it
I'm gonna
back
put
in.
that in the chat.
I'm just
Well,
a little
'cause
bit
it's the-
scared about the idea that Kuzos wants to frame this and put it on his wall.
because it's so
This is what he,
glorious. Like, you
this is
can't
what he
make
wants.
this
This
up.
is what he considers art. This is what he wants to look
Yeah.
at every day. Like I just want my walls covered in cock. Just
No, you
everywhere.
can put a light
Because
behind
you
it.
literally look at this picture and there's no way.
I'll
I'm
never shame anybody for the art they hang on their wall.
This is
hang it
not
on
a
your
case
wall,
of
or
you've got
hang
a
it on
sick
your wall.
mind. You're trying too hard. This is literally that's a cock. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Do you think it's hard enough?
You're not like confused whether is it Jesus on my toast or is it Dave Grohl? Like, no, that is like there's no dispute, you know. That's what that is.
Oh dear.
Oh man, I want to see how Adam transitions out of that one.
Yeah, I got nothing. For that one.
Worst thing, let me just read one sentence off this article because it's great. As kitchen aids go, cutting boards aren't exactly cutting edge. That's all you need to read out of that to know this is going to be great.
Yeah. But like that's what we end our show with is stuff like that, and it's always a ton of
Like,
fun,
'cause
you know.
When you're talking about such serious content and like stuff that genuinely aggravates you, ending it on a lighter note and something that where you can end it and laugh,
Yeah.
you need that. 'Cause
Yeah.
you can't do a whole entire show just raging, freaking vein popping out on your forehead, and it just like do that
the
and end the
break.
show. No, you're gonna be more pissed
Yeah.
off, but you were before you started the show, and it's just not a healthy way to do it.
Yeah.
So we try to incorporate fun and seriousness in the same way, and that's how we kind of
Yeah.
use
Yeah,
it.
it's the same way that like me and my wife do our weekly episodes on our podcast. Is always the first half of it's just advocacy, and usually that means me ranting about things, and then the second half of the show is just like a fun topic, like a side topic, you know, not vape related. It's just something to finish your ride to work with or whatever, you know,
Yeah.
instead of leaving on like doom and gloom and PMTAs and the industry and all the, you know, because after a while it can be daunting, you know, and you just
It's
do
a toll on you.
advocacy constantly. It can be daunting. So you got to try to mix it up. You got to lighten it up at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. We're coming to that time. Is updates for the for this week coming up? Everybody, anyone, please.
I guess I have a couple updates. If anybody hasn't listened to the Rise and Vape podcast, you can go check it out. I just had Helen Redmond on this last week from Filter Mag, senior editor for Filter Mag. It was a fantastic conversation. This weekend, I'll have our weekly episode out, and I'll also have an episode out with Jennifer Winstead. If anybody knows her, she's a DIYer. She's been around for quite a while. And then me and Corey don't have a show this week. We have one the
But
following
we have a
week.
show next week.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Which, who knows what we can talk about because we might be just waiting for it to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? We could be talking about this YouTube thing. We could be talking about something brand new. You never know.
I would dare to bet we're probably going to end up saying something about PMTAs.
Yeah, probably.
I'm just going to throw it out there. It's
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
going to happen.
Awesome. Mr. Legion.
Same old same for me. Tomorrow morning we're going to be having coffee and hanging out on my channel. Friday is my new show, and I think I'm going to take a leaf from your guys' book and introduce a new section where I talk about something silly because you're absolutely right. There's a lot of doom and gloom, and yeah, but that usually ends up being a bit of a chat at the end anyway. Coming up on Sunday, we have the Aussie Vape Show, and this week we're doing something different. We've always had vendors and e-liquid makers and all that sort of thing. We've got an actual Australian hardware manufacturer, Chamois Durance, runs SE Custom Mods, and they're bespoke, custom-made, big, massive boxes, big, powerful boxes. So we're gonna pick his brain and find out how he got into it and all that sort of stuff. In the meantime, between all those, I'll probably do some reviews. We'll see. We'll get to it. That's about it, really.
Nice.
What about you, my friends? What are you up to?
I'll be back Friday for the Friday Fallout with Quarrels. We'll see if Glenn's not working, but he's been busy busting his ass. Other than that, speaking of stupid times on video, last week we did an expose on how Q-tips are really 5G plans from the government. I don't know what I'm going to do, but we'll figure it out. The week before that, it was urinal cakes. We're really hitting the hard-hitting facts here, guys. So anyways, just make sure you check it out.
Awesome. Well, there's a lot of people hanging out in chat tonight. We want to thank you all very much for hanging out with us and shooting the proverbial, so to speak. Also, Mr. Poonsauce and Mr. Logan, thank you very much for joining us. Big fans of what you do, and hope it all continues on. Coming to that time.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for everything you guys do.
Oh.
Damn right.
We love coming on. We love everyone hanging out with us, and it's come to that time. Have an amazing week, everyone. Vandal.
Adam is such a fucking nice guy. Make sure you guys go check out Breeze Tone's Coils at Victory Vape, Rising Phoenix Vapory, Lucid RDA, Seven Smoke Shop. What else am I thinking? Still Valley Vapors and localvape.com. And you can use the code Amigos20 at localvape.com and 20% off your whole order, including Breeze Tone's Coils. And he's never going to show himself, but they're really good coils. He's got MTLs, 26, 27, 28, aliens, and they fucking sing like Celine Dion, as Overdrip would say. So we're not forgetting that.
Indeed. Thank you, Chris. Yes. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We will see you next week, as per usual. Yeah. Big love. Have an amazing week. Stay strong. Eat your greens. All that sort of stuff. We'll see you next time.
Make sure to buy your cutting boards hard